Right, so I'll start the webinar now. Okay, this is the November 10th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. I'm Bruce Lofgren from the town of Groton in the Office of Planning and Development Services. And for any members of the public that would like to speak tonight, you have to raise your virtual hand. It can be found different ways depending on the device you have. If you have an Apple device, you can hover your mouse at the top of the screen and a virtual hand will show up. If you have a PC, you can hover at the bottom of the screen and a virtual hand will show up. And if you're on a telephone, you dial *9 and the chairman will see that your hand is raised. The way it works is you can raise your hand during public communications and the chairman will call on you one at a time. You can also speak on any agenda item and the chairman will also call on you at his discretion. The chair is Jeffrey Pritchard and we do roll call whenever you're ready, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I'll call the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. First item is roll call. Michael Kane, is he not here, I guess? Alzad.
Here.
Barbara Tarbox.
Yeah.
Sue Sutherland.
Here.
Steve Hudacek.
Here.
Kevin Fitfall. So I'll appoint Steve to sit for Michael Kane. And let's see, we have no public hearings, no consideration of public hearings, no approval of minutes. Public communications, does anyone on the commission have any communications? Does staff?
No, we do not. We do not have any communications at this point.
Does anyone in the public wish to address the commission? I
don't.
Go ahead.
I don't see any attendees right now in the public that are on. So
I hope our applicant is here.
Right.
Okay, and I did receive an email that I believe was sent out to everybody from Thomas Porter regarding the Sealy School access and his concern with, I guess, access off of one street. No special permits, no subdivision site plans. We have SIT 20-11, Gillespie residence at 12 Maple Avenue. Do we have, is Greg or the applicant here?
I do not see any attendees. No, I don't believe the applicant's here. Yes. I could try emailing him again. I emailed him earlier today and sent him the draft motion and the link, but maybe he's just running a little late.
And he said he was going to attend?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Can you give us a brief overview, Bruce, if he's not there? Or...
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can do the presentation. It's pretty straightforward. So let me just share my screen here. So is everyone seeing the site plan?
Yes.
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 Okay. So this is a coastal site plan application located at 12 Maple Avenue. Right now it is a vacant site directly abutting the Mystic River to the west and the south. The applicant is proposing a 36 by 40 foot dwelling with a rear deck and a accessory structure. The driveway is proposed to be pervious pavers, and the stormwater runoff will be collected in this proposed rain garden here, just to the north of the house. The site is flat. It is cleared. It's just its current condition is just grass. They are going to propose a silt fence line. I'm running along it here with my cursor, and really no existing vegetation is going to be disturbed. The only vegetation on the site right now is over here to the northwest, and it actually abuts another kind of a tributary right here in a water course, but it is all tidal wetlands and no inland wetlands. At the closest point, property or the porch is going to be about 57 feet from the coastal jurisdiction line, and it is located within a AE flood zone. The applicant submitted 4 plans that appear to conform to the flood zone regulations, and they will have to meet all the NFIP flood zone regulations and section 7.2 of the zoning regulations of the town. Other than that, I explained the rain garden. The site will be sewered. There's no septic. There's proposed utilities here, a propane tank, which is buried. And again, the driveway is pervious. So the only impervious surface will be the actual the house and the covered porch of the accessory dwelling. It seems to me that this is designed fairly well. You know, they have a pretty significant setback from the coast, and the rain garden should catch all the runoff on the site. I reviewed the sediment and erosion control plan. It looks good to me. There will be a few tech items, but other than that, nothing came out as
Can you show an elevation view?
Yeah, I can share those. So this is the elevation here, and front and sides and rear. You can see that. So the first floor elevations right here. Everything below here is just going to be garage and storage area. So nothing below the floodplain will be living area. That's one thing we always look for in flood with properties in the flood zone. You can see here, 2-car garage on the lower floor. First floor is well above the BFE. And here's the second floor right here.
What about the accessory building?
It is going to be a garage. I know that there's a big garage door on it. Oh, here it is. So garage door. It's just the floor plan says accessory building, but you know, with that large garage door, it really can't be much more than a garage or storage, in my opinion.
Okay. And no applicant at this time?
Yeah, let me double check. I don't know. I still don't see Greg.
All right, then we'll open it up to the commissioners for any questions on the application. I'll start with you, Hal.
I really don't have any questions. I mean, it says that it's on the Mystic River, but it's really on that little tidal inlet away from the Mystic River, backing onto the railroad tracks. I think that the back of the house, the back of the property is what, maybe 60 feet from the actual railroad tracks, not shown on this drawing. So more power to him if he wants to put anything there. Be good for the rest of the neighborhood to block a little bit of the noise. But I can't see any disturbance. I can't see any problem with it.
Yeah. Actually, the south side is on the Mystic River.
Well, technically.
No, it is. If you go down there, you can look out.
Yeah.
There's nothing between you and when you're standing at the edge, when you're looking south, there's nothing
south.
there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, the road ends there, right? The Maple
Right.
swings around onto Apple Tree Lane.
Right.
So technically true, but it's not, there's not boats going by there.
No, you could put a boat in there.
You could put a Zodiac there.
Yeah. Well, there's a little launch there too.
Right.
All right. Anything else, Hal?
No.
Barbara?
I'm all set.
Sue?
No, no comments, thank you.
Okay. Steve?
I just had one question about the, there's an underground propane tank. Can you just zoom up on that a little bit?
I could try.
The reason why I'm asking, I saw an interesting, I think it was at This Old House, and they were talking about putting propane tanks in flood areas. And they had a neat little demonstration that showed a tank that was partially empty in the course of a flood. And what it does, it acts like a cork. And unless it's strapped down, it literally bobs to the surface. Has that been considered in this?
Not that I'm aware. I haven't seen that design. Usually, when I see underground propane tanks in flood zones, they're anchored with cement. So they basically dig it pretty far down. There's cement all around it, and they anchor it. So in the event where it did flood, it's still anchored underground and won't move. I didn't know anything about it.
So
Well-
this is somehow anchored.
Yes, Greg Fettis is very familiar with putting underground tanks in the flood zone. And there should be a detail, or that he should provide a detail on the plans for actually tying down the tanks.
Okay.
It's like Bruce explained, they usually put a concrete base and then tie the tank to that base.
Tank to the basin. Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that was the only thing that kind of just caught my eye as, a consideration to.
right.
That would be a technical item, Diane?
Yes.
Because
Yes, and the other thing is on both of the structures, they have to meet all of the requirements of section 7.2, and they might have to, and I'm not sure, this will be something the building official will review as whether they need some openings to allow floodwaters to go in and out. So the design might, the design might have to deal with those. That's an easy fix, and that'll be part of the motion.
It looked
Well,
like it had knockout panels.
Right,
I think that's part of the regulations talk about.
right.
Yeah, they shouldn't need breakaway walls here, but they will need flood vents at the very
Yeah,
least.
because they're not in the VE zones.
Right.
What about storage of chemicals or materials in that accessory building? They shouldn't be allowed to have any hazardous materials in there, I assume.
A lot of times in flood zones, they have to put them above the base flood elevation. So if they have them above,
Well,
the 11 is 10 plus 1 foot, so 11 feet. Potentially, they can put something in there.
well, what I'm concerned with is how does the owner in 5 years from now know that he can't store his gasoline in there below that level? I was wondering, no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Or if a new owner buys the property, even if it could be in the deed somewhere, but they aren't going to read that. I was just wondering whether there should be a requirement to put some kind of signage either on outside the building or inside, indicating that you can't store hazardous material below the flood level.
We can make that as a tech item that with the note can be on the plan, and then if you want to have a sign in the building,
Well, there'd be something to know just to keep people aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because knowing most garages, and mine is like that, you just put a lot of stuff in there and
Right.
fill up all the empty space. But you really should be pretty limited as to what you can put in the flood area.
So if they put a note on the plan that all hazardous materials need to be stored above the base flood elevation, and then
A sign indicating that,
right.
either in or on the outside the building.
How's that, Bruce?
Yeah, that works for me. I can certainly add that to the tech items.
And can they fix note 10?
Yeah, where it says Planning Commission, I picked up on that too.
It says Planning and Zoning Commission in the beginning of the note and then Planning Commission at the end of the note. They ought to be the same.
Yeah, I did
Just
see
for
that one.
consistency, I don't care which one, how they fix it, but it just looks weird. I didn't have anything else. Does anyone have any other concerns with this? No. Everybody's seen the motion. Does anybody have any problems with the motion? This is just for a CAM. So if not, I'll make a motion to approve coastal site plan 20-11 Gillespie Residence, 12 Maple Avenue, subject to the following modifications. 1, technical items as raised by staff shall be addressed. 2, that there shall be no land disturbance seaward of the silt fence line demarked on the plan. 3, that an excavation permit is obtained from Public Works prior to any work being performed within the right-of-way or connecting to public sewer. 4, that all construction conforms to NFIP, FEMA flood zone regulations. In approving this application, the Commission finds that the proposed activity as modified is consistent with all applicable goals and policies in CGS 22A 92, and that it incorporates reasonable measures which would mitigate the adverse impacts of the proposed activity on coastal resources. Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I did make one suggested change. It's on the screen right here to modification number 4.
Oops,
It says that all construction conforms to NFIP FEMA flood zone regulations. I added and all requirements of section 7.2 of our zoning regulations.
Okay, I'll make that change before. Is there a second to the motion as it got corrected?
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll vote on the motion for the site plan. Cam, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion is carried unanimously. We have no old business, new business. Are there any new applications?
We do not have any new applications right now, no.
No referrals. Report of chair. We have a special meeting scheduled for next Tuesday, and the time has not been established. I'd like to set the time. I'd rather do it early, like 6 or 6:30, if that's agreeable with the other commissioners.
I'm okay with that.
I'm good.
Kane did request 6:30.
Right.
I don't, I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, I don't have a problem. Yeah, I'd like to be able to have him there for the meeting. So why don't we pick 6:30? No one has any objections.
Fine.
Okay. That's all I had. Report of commission. Does anyone have anything to report on? Report of staff.
I might,
Oh, yes.
I might just have a little. I don't know if anybody else caught the our favorite curmudgeon David Collins column on the day about waterfront access.
Yes.
Which he had quite a good point.
Right.
And the more I look into it, the more annoying it is that I don't know if for those of you who haven't read it, on the Groton side, as you approach the condominiums, there's a gateway. Beyond that gate is open access. Apparently that's the way it was passed. I don't know the history of it. I know Dick Fitzgerald apparently was part of what passed that. And that access was supposed to be unrestricted. And instead they have a little gateway there. that has something on the sign that says, that had something that just said, access continues beyond the gate, which is a bizarre sign. Instead of being the normal progression of coastal access signs that should be up and down where we have coastal access, it had this little sign that apparently disappeared. And now the town manager is saying that he's not going to replace it unless the owners of the property say it's okay.
No,
Well,
that's not acceptable.
That's not acceptable. I'm not quite sure what deal with the devil was made to have a gate there at all. I'm okay with having a little appendage to encourage people to be quiet, but frankly, as actually David Collins proposed, there should be benches out there. It's coastal access. It should be the same as anywhere else, including something to keep in mind is that somewhere in there, it kind of slipped, is that when you walk down to the end of those, there's a little grouping of condominiums that blocks off a continuous route of coastal access. It kind of blocks off your way to get to the art museum's property, which has a path along the coast. You're forced back onto the parking lot. I don't know how that happened, but we're stuck with it now. But certainly any rearrangement of that parking lot must make it really clear that this is the route to get to coastal access. But not having a sign there that's just the standard coastal access sign, front and rear, every which way, that's the only thing that to me is acceptable. People should be encouraged to walk down there, and that piece of fence should never be replaced. If it ever needs to be repaired, it should be removed. It just shouldn't be there.
I agree completely.
Council was talking about tonight.
So if you're all in agreement as a commission, you could write something to the council and let your voices known. If you're not, then you might want to do it individually. So
can we put this on the agenda for next time? I think that's what
sure.
Deb wasn't Deb going to the town council for that subject tonight?
I don't know whether it was coastal access. It might have been.
Yeah, well, that's why I was suggesting, why don't we just put it on the agenda for next month's meeting?
Okay.
Because we probably should be taking a look at it from the
So why doesn't everybody go, or if everybody knows the location and knows the issue, otherwise before the next meeting, go down there and look. See what you think.
Yeah, there is some sort of hindrance there, but it does, I mean, you are allowed to walk through there.
Right.
And I'm not sure.
And that fence was never on the original site plan. I know that. So I don't know if it was on subsequent site plans for little projects or whatever, but the original plan never had that fence there. So
they probably put it up at midnight.
But that's been up for a long time.
It has.
Yes.
But it absolutely does what it was intended to do, is to disencourage people to walk through there.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of what we want to do.
Not many people walk down there to begin with, because they have.
I do.
No, but I mean, you don't see a lot of people at once.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, well, for the time being, it doesn't go anywhere at this moment, but you should be able to walk to, I don't know, Daniel Packer Inn by that route. Now you kind of can't, or think you can't.
Yeah. I just walked down to the Art Association property and go up that way. Yeah.
And there was, for those of us around on Nextdoor, I don't know how many of you are connected to Nextdoor, the website.
Yeah.
It's a little local social media thing. And there was a point in there that, I don't know what you want to call it, advertisement, a notice put in there about the property that I believe is across the street from Daniel Packer Inn on the waterfront.
Oh, the dock, the town dock there?
It's next, just north of the town dock. I believe that's what they were referring to. It was kind of a loosey-goosey kind of notice. And part of it was kind of asking for ideas about what would be good there. They were asking us, the public, what would be good there. So and I'm not sure what would be good there because there's just not much property there. Just want us to be aware of it, that
Parking.
there's almost no parking. The thing is, what, 60 feet or 100 feet wide? Oh, it can't be 100 feet wide, maybe 60 feet wide, 80 feet wide at the best. 2 little buildings on it, but it should also have coastal access while we're in it, but it's certainly not going to be continuous down to there. But I don't know if anybody's seen anything on that. I was getting ready to type something up, but seems like we should have known. I guess not.
Isn't there a coastal access sign at that dock?
At the dock it is. It doesn't affect the dock.
That's on property.
That's true. This is the property north of the dock, which is a pretty good, well-kept secret.
Yeah.
Good luck finding it if you're walking around downtown.
What, you mean the secret or the building?
Our secret, town dock,
Oh yeah, nobody, it's just in the middle of nowhere.
It's just middle of nowhere and hidden behind the building, so sure.
Yeah.
And no parking associated with it, so.
No.
So you have to pump up your Zodiac to put it in the water there.
Right.
Okay.
It's actually okay if people are coming from other areas of the river and maybe they want to tie up their kayaks for a little while and go into downtown or something.
Have you ever seen any boats there?
I haven't. You have?
Why would you tie up there as opposed to tie up on the Stonington side where the green is?
Yeah, but you're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to tie up there.
The dinghy dock.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, the dinghy dock.
The
dinghy dock?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very end, right next to the Seaport Marine.
And that's
the
very well
main
used.
part of the dock you're not allowed to tie up.
Right, yes. But the dinghy dock is there for that reason, and it's well used and it's in the right place. So this thing is just a secret dock. But that's not the point. That's not the point.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else? Report of staff?
The only thing I have for report of staff is the Conservation Commission reviewed all the comments that they received from a few of the commission members here and town staff and really some other commissions too. And they finalized their plan. They're going to have a public hearing on November 30th. Where we're going to put it in the paper as an advertisement, and just any final comments that are coming in, and the commission's going to take those into effect before they adopt it officially. I just want to let everyone know.
Okay. If no one has anything else, then I'll make a motion for adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. So the meeting is now adjourned. At what, 7:29?
7:29.
7:29.
Should hang on for another minute.
Do you want to do 7:30? Is that when you get paid your overtime, Bill?
But you can call Greg and tell him.
Yeah, I'll let Greg know that
Tell him that
we didn't meet him tonight.
And his presentation was right on target.
Okay. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye now.